Hi, everyone. Please join me in welcoming our guest for today. Her name is Annabelle Andrade, and she's the recruitment manager of 24/7 VA. Hi, Annabella or Anna. How have you been? How do you do?
Yeah, all good, all good. Happy to be here. Happy to meet you, Dolores. And happy to answer some questions, trying to make
Yeah,
virtual assistant life easier.
I know. But can you please let us know about your role and what the agency is about? It's 24/7 VA, right? So kindly give us a bit of a background about your agency.
Of course. So 20% VA has been in business for quite some time now, over 10 years. And our main mission here is basically match top talent with our clients, with our top clients as well. So we're always looking for a great set of skills and great enthusiasm and willingness basically to learn and get to work with clients all over the world, and of course other VAs from all over the world. So I'm the talent hub leader at the moment, and I manage recruitment, sourcing, and the training team, and also the what we call the candidate endorsement team, the team in charge of basically pairing up this magnificent talent with our clients. So I'm kind of in charge of that, what we call a talent hub.
How long have you been with 24/7 VA?
Well, I've been with 20% VA myself for 5 years now, almost. I started
Wow.
also as a virtual assistant, so I know a little bit of the ins and outs, and then I slowly moved or shifted towards being part of the staff. So it was a nice journey. It was like really exciting, and there was a lot of learning. So yeah, I started as a VA myself.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And thank you for sharing that with us. I also did once become a VA of 24/7. So I used to assist one of your clients before. I think that was in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyways, I've prepared some questions here for you, Anna, and I'm pretty much sure that our audience would love to hear more about how you manage VAs and how you set expectations. So, my first question for you right now, or to you right now, is what qualities do you prioritize when selecting VAs beyond technical skills?
That's a really good question. So, aside, of course, of technical skills and everything you need to know about the position that you're actually applying for, we look, of course, for soft skills that basically help virtual assistants thrive in remote work environments. This means that we look for someone who possesses strong communication, time management, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. So we also value accountability and the ability to work independently because, as we know, virtual assistants or VAs need to work with minimal and at times with no supervision at all. So we
Mhm.
believe that these skills, along with a positive attitude, which is super important, are really the core here, the qualities that help VA succeed in their roles and build long-term and successful partnerships with clients.
Yeah. And can you please give us a bit of a background? When you mentioned about 24/7 VA, what kind of clients are you catering to and what countries as well?
Well, for countries, we have clients from mainly United States. I would say that most of our clients come from the United States, but we also had clients from the UK, Europe in general, and we also have some clients from Australia. So as you can see, it varies a little bit, the requirements and of course the kind of skills sets that we might need from our virtual assistants. When it comes to the category of the skills, we go from, let's say, admin business support, um, to, let's say, construction that falls under business support, telehealth, medical billing, digital marketing, social media management, technical skills like Java developer, PHP developer, maybe backend or front end developer. And we also have e-commerce. Actually, we started with e-commerce. PPC, SEO. We have a wide range of skills that we are looking for, and that we were always looking for because our clients need those profiles. So yeah, it's quite a wide range there.
Definitely. And this is the reason why I am reaching out to most agencies, because I believe that the VA career is really growing fast. And we have to really prepare ourselves if we want to transition into this career. So my next question to you is, I know how challenging is it to manage the team in terms of the VAs, because we are all remotely. But how do you cultivate accountability in a fully remote environment?
Well, I think that's really challenging. It starts really with finding the right talent, as we were saying before. We have a very thorough process, a very thorough vetting process, which includes online tasks and tests and one-on-one interviews. Throughout this process, basically, we identify candidates who not only meet the technical requirements. This is always leaving aside, right, the set of skills for the job post, but we also align with our company values and what we stand for, right? So we also create an environment where accountability can thrive. Our account managers provide guidance and feedback and offer opportunities for improvement during onboarding. This happens actually at every step as well. During onboarding, VAs are introduced to their scope of work, workflows, communication expectations, and performance standards. So they have a clear understanding of the responsibilities from day one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about not just what a VA is right now. So we are going beyond what a VA can do. That's why these questions that you might be hearing can really be helpful for you if you are an aspiring VA. I think it's very good. It's going to be very helpful for you if you understand, or if you listen and understand the answers that are being asked to Anna right now, because in terms of preparing as a VA, it's kind of a crucial, it's a crucial information. It's a crucial decision that you're going to be doing. So please listen to what our guests are talking about, or the way they answer the questions, because this will also lead you how you can really transition properly. So my next question to Anna is, what leadership challenges are unique to managing virtual teams compared to traditional ones?
Well, one challenge, I don't think I can hear you now.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, that's perfect. Sorry.
It's okay.
One one challenge is ensuring everyone is on the same page. So it requires really consistent efforts to keep communication channels open and find time for both synchronous and asynchronous coordination. We encourage usually scheduling regular team syncs and one-on-one check-ins. Additionally, using project management tools that I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, with MS Planner or Asana, ClickUp, Trello. There are so many. This helps distributed virtual teams basically stay aligned even when working across different time zones.
How many VAs do you manage at present, Anna?
Sorry?
How many VAs are you managing at present right now?
Me, I'm managing 3 teams. Actually, it's 3 managers and they manage their own teams, but there's always me interjecting there. So a recruitment team has a total of 5 people. The training team has also 6 people like there, and the candidate endorsement team has like 4 people there. So it's a little bit of each one. However, they have their own managers. My main goal is there to meet with the managers and basically strategize about what is needed. So yeah, 3 teams, and each one has their own team there.
But do you have an idea how many total VAs you have all over? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not just in the Philippines, right?
No, it's almost 300 virtual assistants that are active right now with our clients.
Wow.
Sorry, that was the actual question. Yeah, a total of
Wow.
almost 300 virtual assistants are active at the moment. That's without counting the staff.
Yeah, that's great because when I joined 24/7 VA before in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't that big yet. So I
Yeah,
can still remember my number was zero something. So I know that we were still small because we were given identification numbers to probably to identify how many VAs do we have. The numbers are not that much yet during that time. And now you've grown to 300 VAs in different countries, I would suppose, not only in the
yeah,
Philippines, right? So what countries are
yes.
this? From what countries are your VAs coming from?
Well, I'm from Argentina. Hello. We
I
have a
know.
couple people from Argentina as well. We have from Uruguay. We have from Algeria.
Wow.
Um, of course, the Philippines. We have from Nigeria, Kenya. We have from,
It's
I know there are
awesome.
a couple from Indonesia, I believe, or at least we have some applicants from Indonesia, Jamaica, Belize, Latin America, like we have Colombia, we have people from I believe Chile as well. We have a lot of countries in the list right now. I'm
Wow,
probably
that's
missing some, and I'll get a problem.
amazing. But would you know,
Somebody will be like, "You didn't name my country."
yeah, but would you know the percentage of your VAs coming from the Philippines? Is it mostly from the Philippines, or the numbers are varying depending on how many clients you might have from each country that you mentioned?
That's a great question. We actually get a lot of traffic from the Philippines into our website. We also get a lot of applicants from the Philippines right now, but because we are getting this expansion globally, not only for 20% VA, but for virtual work and remote work in general, the word is getting out, right? People are more familiar with what working remotely is. It's no longer a thing of just the COVID and because people were with the pandemic and just working from home because of that. Now people are actively seeking for remote roles. So I believe that it has made it a little bit more mainstream, right? So that's
Yeah.
why we're getting more traffic from other countries as well, and it's easier for them to get to jobs and agencies like ours.
Yes. Now, because you mentioned there's a lot of VAs now that you are managing under your agency, how do you prevent burnout while maintaining high performance VAs?
Well, preventing burnout while maintaining this high performance starts really with good time management, as we were saying before, and healthy work habits. We try to encourage VAs to use their time efficiently. This includes prioritizing tasks and blocking dedicated periods for administrative work or just deep focus tasks and maybe breaks throughout the day, not just one long break, but maybe just tiny breaks. Having a structure also helps PAs stay productive without feeling overwhelmed. Focus is also important, and in a remote setup, distractions can easily impact productivity. So we emphasize the importance of creating a work environment where VAs can basically log in and give their full attention to the tasks at hand during work hours. So staying focused allows them to work efficiently, and doing this helps avoid working long hours unnecessarily. So I'm not sure if that happened to anyone watching, but sometimes you don't do your work on your allotted time, and then you have to compensate the hours later, or you have to work on the weekends or stuff like that. So the idea is to avoid that because actually one of our core values is work-life balance. So we believe that this is an important pillar, so to speak, for long-term success as a remote professional. So someone who knows how to manage their time and basically focus when needed should also be able to carve out time for self-care
Mhm.
and activities outside of work. It's super important to have something else to do other than just wake up, work, and then go to sleep again. So maintaining that balance helps remote professionals stay motivated, energized, and consistently be consistently productive in the long run.
Thank you, because I think burnout is really part of working. Even if you're working from home, it is inevitable that you will experience this. Especially so if you do not know how to manage your time properly. And some VAs, they try to um, take a lot of clients because thinking that it will
Mm.
help them earn more, but not thinking about the quality of time, the quality of work that they would also be delivering. So it is not bad. I don't know if you will agree with this. It is not bad if you get more clients, but ensure that you can deliver the quality type of work that you promise your clients. Otherwise, you're going to sacrifice the consequences of either you have more clients now or you lose all of them. Correct, Anna? Have you ever experienced something like that?
Definitely. Burnout? Oh my God, yes. It happens to to everyone. It happens to the best of us. It's something that you cannot avoid eventually, especially if you're used to working on site. If you ever worked on site, you know that it really is different. Plus, maybe you finish the day and you just go home and everything stays there. Even if you have your phone and maybe they message you or whatever, but you know that everything stays there. And sometimes it's difficult when you transfer all that to a remote environment where your computer is always there, even if you're doing something personal. You just want to check, oh, I see this MS Teams, this Slack message or something like that, and you want to keep going, or you remember something that you might be able to add, or I don't know, you're home, so I'll do my chores and later I'll work, and you keep extending that. It's inevitable for me, I think, to for that to happen to you at least once. Then you realize that it's a huge merge of your work and your personal life, and nothing really ends. It's just a mesh there, and that's when you want to start separating things. And you finish your work, you finish with your computer, and then you go do some other activity, and you realize the quality of life that you're getting if you do that, because it's a
Yes.
huge advantage to work from home, honestly, and you just have to use it the right way. It's a great power, and it comes with a great responsibility.
I love that. Uncle Ben. That's really nice. Okay, and with my next question now. In your view, since 24/7 VA has been in the industry for almost 10 years, in your view, what makes a VA indispensable to a client?
I don't think there's a single answer, actually, especially since no two business are alike. But there are a few things that I can think indispensable VA possesses. So first is reliability. Clients want to know that they can depend on their VA. They want consistency on the other side. And this trust takes time to build, right? So a VA proves themselves by consistently meeting deadlines or communicating proactively and following through on responsibilities without needing constant supervision. This thing that we were saying before about a working without that supervisor, somebody checking in all the time. So and if we go a step maybe beyond that, truly valuable VAs are observant and proactive. They don't just complete assigned tasks, but they look for opportunities to maybe improve workflows or just solve small problems before they become big problems. So this kind of initiatives shows that they're actually invested in the business's success, not just it's not just a list of items that they check off at the end of the day. So adaptability is, I believe, another important quality. Businesses really evolve and sometimes priorities shift. So it's important to be able to adapt to this. Or even the VA staffing requirements change. So it's important to be resourceful, trying to investigate, educate yourself, also look for ways to improve processes and solve problems before they escalate when this priorities change. Finally, I would think that an indispensable VA genuinely has pride in the quality of work they do. Is they appreciate their role and the impact on the client's success. This basically enables them to take ownership of their work and consistently fulfill their roles, knowing whether or not a VA possesses this qualities is really not easy, but that's what we try to do through our thorough process. And yeah, I think that kind of makes an indispensable VA.
Yeah. Can I just jump into another question without not part of the list? But you mentioned about the thorough process. Some candidates, I've been in, I've been handling recruitment as well before. And these are the challenges I also face. There are two things. Some of them, they are really getting pissed off with the lengthy process as agency goes that agencies has to do or to go through before really hiring a VA or the candidate. And the second one is they're also getting pissed off when they find out that agencies or most agencies are asking candidates when they get hired that they will be using a time tracker. What are your thoughts about this? Because I'm pretty sure you're in recruitment, you have been experiencing this. This can be really helpful for those who are not familiar how the agency works. So please listen up again because this is an essential part for you to learn how agencies are processing their recruitment so that you are aware when you apply through an agency.
Yeah, definitely. Those are actually great questions, and I get the pissed off part. So I believe that the lengthy process part, yeah, I get it. Like as an applicant, in many jobs before 20% MBA, I definitely get it. I understand that it's annoying. You have to send the video, then you have to send the CV, then the cover letter or presentation letter, and then a blood sample, and then like there's so many things. Um, but what I think that we do at 20% MBA and as part of the process manager, I would say is we evaluate as much as possible to make sure that we match you with the right client. Um, because knowing every set of skill that you have, knowing your personality, understanding a little bit what you're after, what you did before, why did you behave this way, why did you do this, what is your goal as a virtual assistant, as a remote worker, and as a worker before. It's that's why we ask questions like, okay, you had this job listed in your resume, why did you decide to leave? Like what's the story behind it? What were you after? Why did you decide to change career paths? There are people that study physics or biochemistry or something like that, and they end up being cold callers, and you're like, what? And I had an applicant saying that's what my parents wanted me to study, but this is what I wanted to do. And they went to do social media marketing and stuff like that. So understanding that they have no issues completing a task, but whenever they can, they will follow their passion. So you know that they have that creative side and that duty side, and it's important to understand somebody's mentality and somebody's motivations and goals. And I think that that's what we do. We do a really thorough evaluation of our candidates through our process, and we also ask for the requirements that we need to ask to make sure that um, they're compliant with our basically with our contracts and our more bureaucratic staff, you know. But the thorough process comes from there, from evaluating every single facet of their work experience and their personality to ensure that we find the right client for them. We don't want to just throw their profile around and see, okay, who wants this VA? Is not what we want to do or what we want to achieve. We want to make it as perfect as possible, that match, you know. So I hope that brings some peace to some. And when it comes to the time tracker, I get it. When I first started working at 20four7VA, which was my first remote experience, by the way, they told me about this time tracker and I got defensive. It was like, wait, you're gonna see what I'm doing on my computer? Like, what's going on? Why? Why would you want to know what I'm doing? And I was lucky enough, and after I moved to staff, I realized that I was lucky enough to get really nice clients. Because I'm not going to lie, there are some clients that are amazing, and there's just a really small set of clients that maybe they're not that experienced, they don't know how it works, and they're very used to having the people work for them like under their sight. So they're
Yeah.
very used to being on top of everything. So they're like, I don't know, let's say, I don't think that VA Juan or John or whomever did this, all the tasks that I asked them to do in this allotted amount of time. I don't think, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, you check that time tracker, you check a couple of screenshots and all that, and you're able to defend the VA and make sure that they are treated fairly. So I think I hope I explained it correctly, but I really think that the time tracker application is like insurance that you have. Like I did my job, it's registered, and the hours are there. So I can say that there's nothing that it you check in those screenshots or that time tracker application that is going to jeopardize my job. It's actually going to help me and defend me, and there's proof. So I started seeing it that way. I got great clients who never questioned what I did. They saw the results and they were like super okay with that. But there are others that even if they see the results, they want to make sure that they follow every single part of the procedure, or they want to micromanage a little bit more. And you have the proof. So it's important to have that. And on top of that, we build a client based on the hours that are popping up there in the time tracker. So even if you work more hours, we go and build the hours that you actually deserve, not the contractor hours. So that's why it's also a benefit for the virtual assistant.
There you go. The importance of time tracker is not just about lurking. Okay, it's one way of ensuring that the value of the investment of the clients that are being spent to you is also coverable. I think it covers the number of hours you need to perform with them because that's expected of you, right, as a VA. So I understand that there are some freelancers who doesn't understand the setup of a VA. And that's why it's really nice to explain the difference between the two. So in your case, Anna, how can you differentiate a freelancer to a VA?
Well, a freelancer is mostly a self-managed person. I think that they do a lot of the legwork, and it has its good things, right? It has its benefits, and it definitely has its downside. But I think that the great benefit about a freelancer, about being a freelancer, is that you get to choose the kind of client that you want to cater for. You get to work super independently. Like you really have a choice over everything. And working as a VA, and especially as a virtual assistant, well, now the great thing is that we started implementing these calls, these checks after the clients, right? After the client interviews, and we go like, "Are you okay with this? Do you want to move forward with this client? Do you think this client matches your priorities, or do you think that you really can do your task?" So they get to choose as well, but from our pool of clients. So I think that's something that is a little bit more limited. But the great thing about being a virtual assistant, at least with 20four7VA, is that you don't have to bill your client, you don't have to run after them to make sure that they pay you. I've heard a lot of stories of freelancers that start doing the job and they don't get paid for it, or the client ghosts them and they don't get their pay, and you have to be your own financial entity, you have to be your own marketing entity, you have to be your whole company, which is very rewarding but also very exhausting. This work-life balance um might not be something that you can get so easily. You have to have really clear boundaries there. And for us, we are your marketing team, we are your support team. If you have any questions, we have a training team in case you want to expand your skills or your abilities that is completely free. You can access for free once you're in the pool. Um, so there are a lot of benefits, I think, for both. I would still choose 20four7VA because the support network is just there. you feel like you're not doing it alone. You really feel as part of a team, and you feel like you have something to fall back on. And I think it's a very safe feeling there. And yeah, the fact that you can expand your knowledge and rely on your coworkers or even your account manager as a VA in case you have an issue with a client, or you want to talk something out, you're not alone. So the sense of
Yes.
community is definitely there.
And I think what you said, based on the explanation you gave, these are the advantages that you can get as a VA when you're working with an agency, right? You have that partner, you have that community, not like if you're doing it by yourself, all yourself. I mean, doing it, you have to really spend for everything that you're going to be doing to find the client for you. So again, that's why I advocate that if you are looking, or if you want to transition into this career, choose to work with an agency and try to research about the agency. How long have they been in the business? What kind of clientele do they serve? Because these are really important information that you, as a newbie, as a new VA in this industry, should learn. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because since I've been here in this industry, somehow I have ideas. I have an idea who are the type of agencies people should choose to work with. So I have invited 24/7 VA because they've been in this industry. They have helped a lot of Filipino professionals transition as a VA and provided work for them, decent work. And you are actually earning from your home, from the comfort of your home. So my next question to you, Anna, is on the client side. Let's talk about on the client side. What are the most common misconceptions your clients have about working with an agency such as yours?
Well, this part I can play it by ear because I'm not usually on the client facing side, but I'm part of so many calls that involves the client strategy. So I've heard the sales team and the growth team really go on and on about this, and the myths that they're trying to, bring down. So I would say I think it's the VA agencies simply match clients with VAs. They do this mix and match. I like to call it like the virtual assistant Tinder service. So it's not just
I
that
like that.
client VA pairing, at least for 24/7 VA, really is only a part of what we promise and deliver. We have an end-to-end solutions really, which include onboarding and onboarding assistance and VA training. So this means we help equip the VAs with the right knowledge so that they can perform. We also handle timekeeping, as we were mentioning before, and payment processing. Meaning VAs don't have to worry about the invoicing like the freelancers do. And clients don't have to spend additional hours checking timesheets and processing VA payments. So I think that's a huge benefit. We finally, each client will have an assigned account manager who ensures concerns from both parties, right, are addressed in a timely manner. So both VAs and clients really have a whole team of remote staffing experts at no additional cost. So in a nutshell, VA agencies like 24/7 VA don't just handle VA client managing. We are with you at every step of the way, helping facilitate VA staffing success.
Yeah. And this is your opportunity for your company, your agency, to attract and invite the right candidates to join your agency. Please, I'm giving you the floor now. You may want also to add a bit of how your process will go if they will be applying to your agency. You can now invite them.
Of course, yes, that would be great. We really want to invite everybody to apply. I think that the best thing that you can do is just give it a try. We want everybody that has experience, maybe in on-site or maybe virtual experience. You don't need remote work experience or virtual assistant experience to apply. So we have a mix of very talented people in our pool, not only because they come from different countries, but because they come from different backgrounds. I get this question a lot, like, would you take me or would you process my application even if I don't have virtual assistant experience? Yes, of course, because you know how the on-site work works. So now you just need to adapt all of that, all of your knowledge and your experience to your remote environment. And I think it's a great transition. It's interesting, it's challenging, but it's a great transition to do. Yeah.
You're not starting from scratch. That's one thing, right? You just have to learn how to bring that experience and apply it as a VA. Anna, for the sake of information as well, you don't have to be too specific, but at least to give us a guide on in terms of the rate. How much does 24/7 VA normally offer in terms of the hourly rate for those who are thinking of joining your agency or your team?
That perfect question. So, it really varies depending on the skill set. So usually, the more technical you get, the rate gets to get higher, and it depends on the level of experience as well. Like if you're an entry level IT person or technical person, you're probably not going to be at the same level as a senior person that has been in the business for like 10 to 15 years, of course. So it goes from like 350 an hour for admin related roles that usually have a low impact, like data entry that's mostly handling small sets of data, to all the way to technical roles that go for like $10 to $11, I believe, an hour. So it really depends on the skills. And in the middle, you have business support, construction, telehealth, as we were mentioning before, real estate, um, marketing, if you're more into social media or social media management or digital marketing, design, video editing, etc. And then it goes more to IT related roles, maybe as developers. So it really depends on the category that your skill set falls under.
And we're talking about an hourly rate here, which is far different
Yes.
if you're working as an employee. So this is a big change if in case you shift to becoming a virtual assistant. Now, the other thing that most candidates are always um, asking about, not asking, I think this is also something that you are aware about. Can a VA earn six figures when they are new in this business?
That's a great question. I think that the important thing is aiming for, if you just started the business, you're aiming for six figures. My first thought is that you're probably going to be doing a lot of things that you don't want to, and a lot of things that might be low quality just for the sake of the paycheck. Um, that's my thought. Just the first thing that when you said that.
Yeah, the reason I
I
asked
think
you
that
that because there's a lot of misconception about that thing, and in the Philippines, most people who are offering training to become a VA, sometimes that is their way of marketing to attract um, people to sign up for their training. And that's why I'm asking you this, because I want it to come from you as an agency that it is possible. However, let's emphasize on the however. It might require a number of years, you have to really earn it before you can say, wow, I'm receiving this now, because it took me years as well. It's not an overnight thing.
yeah, I think you saw, I'm not a very good person at hiding my facial expression, so you probably saw my confusion.
I know. I I know. And it's
I
very
need to work
rampant
on that.
here. Yeah, it's very rampant here in the Philippines because the VA training is one of the things that people can easily sign up for if you are giving them the wrong information. Like using the words earn six figures as a VA, that will totally attract you. However, what's not clear is that who earns that? Who will probably earn that immediately? Me as a new VA doing data entry, doing GVA,
Right.
will I earn that immediately, Anna?
Well, I love these things because I think that we are sorry when we are desperate or when we want to get money fast, especially for those people that have a family that have to support a family or that have their own aspirations that might need quick money or a larger sum of money. I think that you tend to fall for those things, and I don't blame you. Honestly, everybody has a different situation. We've encountered a lot of situations on our side as well. You really see a lot of people that need the job, and we get it. But I think that there's no way to make so much money fast. And we need to be okay with that, and we need to understand that it's a journey. I'm not going to tell anybody how to handle their money, of course. But one of the things that I think that we need to pay attention to is that whenever we receive our paycheck, and if we can just save some money, maybe invest it, maybe move it around, or do some kind of things. Um, I don't think that you're going to be earning six figures in US dollars, of course, and at the end of your first year because you're just very, I don't know, very excited about being a VA. I don't think that's going to happen. And if you learn about one or two cases of success, I don't think that you should follow those. I think that you should follow those people that do the process, that do the path, and that do the work, which is so um, is so challenging. It's really rewarding, but at the same time, it's really challenging. There's no magic recipe for you to earn a crazy amount of money in like the shortest time ever, unless you go with the lottery or maybe the roulette. I'm not sure what you guys are into, but um, it, it doesn't happen like that in any job. In any job, it doesn't happen. You're not going to end up driving a Lambo by the end of the year. That doesn't happen. So I
Thank
would
you.
trust hard work and invest. Maybe invest your earnings, whatever you don't need to live, and just save the money and invest and make sure that you're smart about your money. Don't waste it. I'm not gonna tell anybody what to do with their money again. Do whatever you think you should. I use it to eat and pay rent and try to save some. That's what I use it for. It really helps me out. I was able to buy a lot of things. I was able to move out of a very small home. So I'm very happy about what I've been able to achieve with my hard work here. So I
We're
think
just,
that's
yeah.
my goal.
Yeah. Yeah. What we're just trying to say here is that don't get attracted with this kind of marketing, thing, because again, it will really take time for you to be able to earn something like that kind of figure. It is not impossible. I'm not saying that. However, you would really have to find the right client or clients, probably learn the skills, learn a lot of ways to really understand how you can earn this much. However, during your first client or so, it's not like that. The other thing, Anna, I want to ask you before we end is this. Does 24/7 VA ask for payment when candidates are applying to join your team?
Oh, I was about to mention it before, like when we were talking about the six figures, but I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But I wanted to make sure I said that we don't ask for any money from the applicants. Every cost is it goes on the client side. Really, no nobody's going to be asking you for your credit card number just in case. Just as a guarantee, give us your credit card number. Nothing, no bank details, no, oh, boost your profile for just $5 a month. That doesn't happen. It really goes on your set with your set of skills, your resume, video presentation, your assessments, and your interview results. We really focus on the talent, and we really focus on that. So nobody in 24/7 VA is going to be asking you for any money. Um, and be careful when you go to other agencies, because maybe you don't apply with 24/7 VA. Maybe I'm just opening the door here for virtual assistants in general, which I'm super glad to do that. And you go to other agencies, which is perfect. It's great. Um, but if they ask you for money, just be careful. Don't You shouldn't be paying to apply to anywhere.
Definitely. And it's really nice to hear this from you guys, because at least they can see the legitimacy of the agencies who should they be applying to. And the other thing I also want to ask you is this. Do you offer training whenever, I get hired as a VA? Is it also for free?
That's a perfect question, and we get it a lot. I love it. Um, so once a client selects a virtual assistant and the virtual assistant is okay with the client and the scope of work and all of that, we do have a nesting process that tends to last from 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the difficulty of the job and how involved the client is also with the training. But we have our own training team just shadowing that training and ensuring that you are able to find all the tools that you feel skilled enough to go through your nesting process and graduate your nesting process. So there's a lot of shadowing, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of follow-ups. We make sure that we get feedback, we gather feedback from our virtual assistants during that very challenging period, right? Because those 2 weeks are you're getting familiar with the tools, with the basically the mentality of the client, is just so you can read your client right and understand what they need, their goals, their the goals for you as well as their as part of their team. So those 2 weeks are really challenging and are really crucial. So our training team is super on top of you, along with the account manager who's also there to support you. So yeah, we do provide training, free training for the virtual assistant and for the client as well. This is included in their packet or in their products that they pay when they get the virtual assistant. So everything is included. The idea is to get you out of that nesting period as prepared as possible. And then if you want to expand your knowledge and just maybe you're an admin virtual assistant, but you're curious about what a social media manager does, maybe you want to train yourself in that, or you want to train yourself in AI, then you can do the self-paced trainings, and those are completely free. There's a 24/7 VA University. So once you're part of the community, you have access to all that.
Wow, amazing. Okay, please go ahead, Anna. You might want to say your last message or invite people to join or visit your website or socials. Please, you have the platform now.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm very thankful for this opportunity to talk about 20% VA. It really did change my life and my opportunities. I was out of a job with COVID. I used to work for tourism. So honestly, 20% VA gave me a huge opportunity. I'm always advocating for that. I believe that remote work is really the future, because we still see a lot of people working on site, and we understand that there's a lot of expenses that come from that, gas, and the fact that you have to spend 2 hours commuting sometimes just one way, because then you have to go back home and you end up exhausted. Something I do at the end of the day is I just close my laptop, because I do have a laptop. I have two monitors, which is great. It's like Christmas for me. But I close my laptop and I just go on with my life. I don't have to commute. I don't have to do anything, and it's really comfortable. So I can tell you about all the benefits of 20% MBA, which are many. But I think that the most important benefit that I see is with my own life and how I organize it. And I think I'm lucky enough to have a team and a support network that really helps me out throughout the day. And whenever I face a challenge or I need a word of wisdom, I always have somebody around, and they help me be a better manager. And the same, I believe I am for the people that work with me. Whenever they need something, they know that they can come to me. So I think that that's more important than telling you, yeah, you're earning US dollars and yeah, you get a paid time off, PTO, and blah blah blah. I think that's valuable, but not as valuable as managing your own time, and that's always super.
Thank you so much, Anna. Please don't leave. I'm just going to close this. Thank you once again for joining us. Please follow us here in my channel so that you get to understand and see the legitimate agencies that I am going to give you so that you know who to apply to, where to go to, or what kind of agencies you need to know in terms of you becoming a VA. And I'm saying this because I want to be able to help you become successful in this career because I saw the beauty of working from home, earning decently, and being there for your family as well. So thank you so much. Please watch the rest of the interviews that I also did here, and you get to know all of these agencies. Once again, this is Mentor Dolores, and you are watching the VA Advantage. And please share this also to all of your friends. Thank you and have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.